Hello, you beautiful human being. Today I'm going to be talking all about how to create one aligned thing at a time. And I am going to urge you from the bottom of my heart and soul to do so. Hopefully, I'm going to encourage and ignite the hell out of you. That is my intention because I'll be honest with you, creating takes fire. It takes igniting your own self-belief over and over again to push through that inevitable wall of resistance. But the price of entry to your dreams, to your potential, is moving through that wall of resistance, because that wall of resistance is the outer perimeter of your comfort zone. And if you want to find out who you really are and what you are really capable of, you need to have adventures outside of that comfort zone. And we get to expand it gradually. That is the most beautiful thing about the creative process, in my opinion, is that it's custom fit to you. And, you know, your next level of creative growth and expression and visibility and courage and self-belief and all of that is going to suit you and your growth journey and where you are at right now. But you have to say yes, you have to do it. Lots of people talk themselves out of the creative journey that would actually make their lives feel so fulfilling. And I want you to have a think about the older people you know in your life right now, and think about the people who are stimulated by life, seeking new experiences, creating in some messy, imperfect way, compared to the people who talked themselves out of it, gave up, experienced some kind of setback and never let it go, never moved past it. I want better for you, and I want better for our species, to be honest, because something I know about human beings is that we have an incredible amount of creative potential. We are all beings experiencing consciousness, and that consciousness is full of mysteries, full of the potential for inspiration and guidance. Do we act on it? Do we know how to connect to it? Do we believe in ourselves enough to make it all the way through the process? We have to learn. It's not your fault that you grew up in a culture and a family environment, very likely, where you were not sufficiently encouraged. People were not reflecting to you that it's safe to make mistakes and safe to express yourself. Maybe people were not encouraging you to seek that creative career and to believe that you can do and create anything in this world of infinite choices and possibilities. It's not your fault. Like, whatever you have experienced and carried with you up until this life, but you do have the opportunity to rewrite it and grow past it. And that is what I would desperately love for you, and it's what I am holding for myself for the rest of my life. Like, this journey over the last 10 years of my life has shown me just how much I can grow when I create one aligned thing at a time and give that thing everything that I've got to give in that moment. When I allow myself to create one thing at a time and pour my heart and soul and authenticity into that thing to the best of my ability, I start magnetizing opportunities. And most importantly, I feel really good. I feel good about myself when I create things that allow my authenticity out into this world. And I learn how to just be proud of them, you know, regardless of how well they do and how much reach they get or how much money they make. Being proud of myself just because I made something, just because I tried, just because I had the guts to move through that wall of resistance and create that one thing and let it live. You know, this is the artist's mindset. This is how children are. When you were a kid, you used to get so absorbed in that one thing that you were making, and you did not care how good that drawing was that you gave to someone, full of delight, You were just completely absorbed in it. You were doing it just for experimentation, just to make marks in this world, in this interactive reality that we find ourselves in. So how can we help you adopt that mindset so you can create one aligned thing and have that self-satisfaction and exhilaration and confidence that comes when you know you are moving towards the dream that you say you want, and you're actually creating the things that are going to help you build that dream brick by brick. So here's the process that I use. And just before I launch into that, I want to tell you that I genuinely go through huge spirals of self-doubt and falling to pieces around my creative process all the time. I get discouraged, feel like I'm giving up on things. And I've learned how to hold myself in those moments and reignite the fire. Like, my journey with this began 10 years ago when I started going to open mics and gradually exposing myself. It was exposure therapy, like creating one little naive basic thing at a time and just sharing it with people and letting it be enough. And then my nervous system started to get used to, okay, it's safe to be myself and to share these little things that I make. And so I kept doing it. And it started with very basic songs. Then I moved on to poems. And I would write on social media and tell myself, okay, I'm just going to write one post that feels honest and authentic and truthful today. I'm going to write about the thing that feels really alive today. And yeah, it was a lot of shadow work. At the beginning, I was really mining my subconscious and my fear, because I had so much fear. And gradually, by writing about that fear and sharing it with people, I alchemized it, I released it. And then I really started to completely transform as a person and realized that so much of this fear and insecurity that so many of us are laden by, it's actually like a burden that's placed onto us by this culture that makes us feel inferior and makes us feel like we always have to be proving ourselves and that we've always got to be ranking ourselves according to society's standards and constantly moving goalposts. And it's rubbish. It's a scam. It's tricking us into constantly chasing external validation when we have the power to like who we are and celebrate ourselves as we are and build internal validation. And that is the greatest gift that you can learn along this journey. The creative process, creating one aligned thing at a time, it's a really good way to do that, because you're going to be letting your authenticity out into the world by creating one aligned thing at a time, letting your authenticity move through into a piece of art, into an expression, into an idea, and being the person who is going to be proud of your own ideas and actually let them live and let them become something. I want that for you. I want that for me too. And you might not feel like you are the person right now who can share your creations with pride and see them all the way through to the end, but you become the person who can by doing it. That is what the creative process can give you. It can teach you, it gives you the roadmap and the path to becoming the person that you always secretly knew yourself capable of being. But you have to learn how to meet yourself in the creative process with forgiveness, with compassion, and you have to learn how to hold yourself to things. You have to learn how to stick with things and stay through the discomfort and sculpt an idea while staying true to your vision. So here's the exact process that I move through when I'm feeling massively overwhelmed and I haven't created anything in a while and I need to just sit myself down and make something that feels aligned and is going to serve my mission. So first, I sit myself down and I go back to my original vision. What was the original vision? Like, what am I moving towards? What am I building? What has been compelling me forward? And I'll free write about this. I'll just type as fast as I can or write in my journal. And I'll ask myself questions like, what do I really want to be? What's my dream? What would I have if I could have anything? What is my dream outcome of this situation, of this quest? And when I've tuned into that version of myself, like the thing that I'm actually moving towards and building towards, and I do this a lot with the science fiction novel that I'm writing at the moment, I remind myself like what my actual childhood dream is, and I visualize myself living that life and having the book in my hands. And then when I'm in that energy, I will calm myself down, quiet my mind and meditate, just breathe, just notice the black void space behind your eyes, the blank canvas that's always available to you. If you can just close your eyes and breathe for a bit. And in the stillness of that space, when you are connected to who you actually want to be in this lifetime, and you can ask the silence of your mind, what is one aligned thing that I could create today? Just wait for the answer. And if you struggle to get there, you can ask yourself, what would be something I'm excited to make today? What do I want to make today? Desire, your impulse, that comes from a very high, deep part of your being. I now believe that the soul speaks to us through our desires, through our whimsy, through our impulsivity. Like, it knows the way towards magic. So sit down and connect with the part of yourself who dares to want things, who dares to have desires and believe and dream. And ask that part of yourself, what's that one thing I could create today? What is that one thing I could create today? And I started doing this process when I was in a very difficult time after the death of my mother, and I'd left a partner that year, was in a new home, living on my own, feeling dysregulated all the time. I bought a meditation cushion, and I would sit myself down on that cushion and ask myself that question, and then hold myself to create that thing through the resistance, through the fear. And I would also juice myself up with things that made me feel inspired and energized to help me push through that resistance and create that one aligned thing. And I have a very exciting career path ahead of me right now. I'm writing my science fiction novel. I've written poems and made social media posts that have gone viral that came from my heart. And I love what I do. I love that I get to make this video for you right now. And I love that I believe in myself enough to do this. And I want that for you too. So this is what this podcast, this YouTube channel is devoted to. This is what everything I do is devoted to. It's helping you believe in yourself, because I believe that if we have more human beings on the planet believing in themselves and their ability to create, then we can take some power back and have more say in what happens on this planet. So it really is that deep. Your creative process and these little things that you want to create and your vision, it really is that significant. So I'm wishing you the best of luck with your creative process, and please do try this little question. Quiet your mind, tune into your vision, and ask yourself, what's that one thing that I could create today that feels aligned to that vision? And if it comes, when it comes, put it in the comments, claim it, tell me that you're going to create it. I'd love to hear what your soul is telling you to work on. And in my next solo podcast episode on this channel, I am going to tell you how to move through resistance and how to get through the fear and actually create the thing, because I've got a process for that, because I've had to do it many times. So yeah, thank you so much for being here with me today on Creative Alignment, and just know that you are magic and that you have so much potential, you have so much to offer, and believing in it is the hard part, but it's the part that changes everything. So no matter how much imposter syndrome or fear or overwhelm you feel right now, I want you to know that you are made of magic and you have so much to offer this world. So make that decision Write it in the comments. I'm so excited to see what intuitions and ideas you are getting. If you resonated with the ideas in this episode, please do like, share, subscribe, comment, all of the things. Tell me what you are struggling with, what you would like me to make future episodes about. I would love to hear from you. And if you are standing on the edge of your soul purpose project right now, and you need some support to surrender to this divine assignment, have a look at my 1-to-1 year of alignment mentorships. I will partner with you on your creative process so you can make the kind of steady progress and unleash the authentic expression that makes the universe pay attention. Check out my links below to apply for an alignment call. And thank you so much for spending this time with me today on this path to creative alignment.